All right, let's do something fun today. We're gonna smash together two of the most absolutely brutal universes in all of fiction. What happens when you take Marvel's unstoppable force, the Incredible Hulk, and drop him right into the middle of the endless, violent war of Warhammer 40,000? Well, it's a collision of pure gamma-fueled rage and psychic reality-bending power, and we're here to break it all down.
So let's really get into it, right? The whole scenario, the whole reason this is so cool, it all hinges on this one amazing question. The Hulk's power already kind of ignores physics, it just scales with how angry he gets. But the Orks, their power literally rewrites physics based on what they believe. So what happens when a guy whose power is theoretically limitless meets an entire species that can just erase the word theoretically?
Our story kicks off not with a huge explosion, but with a very, very confused Bruce Banner waking up in a giant pile of junk. He finds himself in a new, frankly terrifying reality, surrounded by monsters, who, for some reason, think he's their new boss.
I mean, just try to picture this for a second. Bruce Banner cracks his eyes open on some junk planet with two suns in the sky, and he's surrounded by these 7-foot-tall green-skinned brutes. But here's the kicker. They're not attacking him. They're cheering for him, and he slowly starts to piece it together. The Hulk has been out, and he's been busy, having just smashed their old leader into a fine green paste. So in the Orks' simple worldview, this new, angrier, greener guy is now their god and their boss.
And right away, this perfectly lays out the huge problem. On one side, you've got Banner. He's a scientist. He wants peace, control, and to figure out what's going on. On the other side, you've got the Orks, a warrior race that only understands one thing: strength. He desperately wants to be left alone so he can find a way home. They desperately want their new, super strong boss to lead them to the next big fight. This is the central conflict that gets the whole thing started.
So how does a man of science like Bruce Banner even begin to survive in a place like this? The short answer? He doesn't. But the Hulk? Oh, the Hulk is right at home. He's dropped into a society where might literally makes right, and the only law is that the strongest one is in charge.
Of course, it doesn't take long for the local top dog to come calling. War boss Grimskull, the biggest, baddest orc in the whole sector, shows up to test this new green god. And in front of thousands of potential followers, there's no talking your way out of it. This is a fight for total dominance, and Banner has no choice but to let the other guy out to play.
After a brutal, landscape-altering 17-minute slugfest, the Hulk is standing over the beaten Grimskull. The Orks are all expecting the final blow, the big finish. That's just how it works. But instead, the Hulk says this: an act of mercy. An idea so completely, totally alien to the Orks that it basically short-circuits their entire understanding of how power is supposed to work.
And the Orks just completely misread the situation. To them, mercy isn't a weakness. It's the ultimate power move. They think only a boss who is so unbelievably powerful, so utterly dominant, can afford to let a rival live. This bizarre, backwards logic makes their belief in him just explode. And in the world of 40K, that belief has very real, very physical consequences. It literally makes the Hulk even stronger.
Okay, this is where things go from crazy to just plain insane. Because now we have to talk about the physics-defying engine that makes the Orks tick, the power of belief, which they call Waaagh energy.
Waaagh energy is the Orks' special sauce. It's a psychic field they all generate just by being together. And the wild part is, if enough of them believe something is true, it just becomes true. If they believe a red truck goes faster, it actually goes faster. If they believe a gun with no ammo should still fire, guess what? It will. It's basically reality-bending magic fueled by pure stubborn conviction.
And this quote just perfectly sums up how the Orks see the Hulk. Their head mechanic, a mech boss named Grim Gut, he figures it out. The Hulk's whole deal, getting bigger and stronger the angrier he gets. It's like he has his own personal, concentrated version of their Waaagh power. He's the walking, smashing embodiment of their entire philosophy.
So what this creates is this absolutely terrifying feedback loop. The Orks believe the Hulk is the strongest thing ever, so their combined psychic energy makes him stronger. Then, the newly buffed Hulk goes and does something even more impossible, which validates and supercharges their belief, which in turn makes him even stronger. You see where this is going? In this universe, the Hulk's power has no ceiling. None.
Okay, so with this nearly infinite power scaling, the Hulk needs a target. A really, really big one. So he chooses something impossible. A mission straight into Hellfire itself. A battle that will end up forging him into something totally new. So to give the Orks the fight they're craving, the Hulk points them at Infernus Prime, a planet that is literally infested with demons from the realm of chaos. This isn't just picking a fight, this is a statement. The human Imperium has tried and failed to take this world twice. If the Hulk's Waaagh can pull it off, they won't just be a threat, they'll be legends.
And the battle is apocalyptic. But after 14 hours of non-stop brutal fighting, even the Hulk starts to break down. The psychic pressure from the demons and the pure physical exhaustion are pushing him and Banner to their absolute limit. But just as they're about to shatter, all that Waaagh energy swirling around them forces a change. Instead of breaking apart, the two minds, Banner and the Hulk, are slammed together, permanently. And out of that fusion, a brand new being is born. The Green God. It's not Banner fighting the Hulk for control anymore. It's a perfect synthesis of both. You got all of the Hulk's limitless rage and strength, but now it's guided by all of Banner's genius-level intellect and strategy. This is the ultimate version of the Hulk, forged in the fires of a literal demon world.
But that victory came at an absolutely staggering cost. 28,000 Orks died taking Infernus Prime. That's more than half the army just wiped out. By any normal standard, that's a catastrophic loss. But to the Orks, it was the best fight they'd ever had. The greatest victory imaginable.
So what's next? You have a new, fully integrated hero leading a now legendary army of greenskins. This is the point where the story shifts from just trying to survive to actually changing the entire galaxy.
The Green God introduces a completely radical new idea to the Orks: purpose. Instead of just smashing whatever's closest, he starts pointing their incredible power at real galactic threats. He's turning an army of mindless destruction into a potential force for order, aimed squarely at the biggest and baddest enemies the universe has to offer.
And you can bet that gets the attention of the human Imperium. They see this new, focused Waaagh, and they don't just see a threat anymore, they see a tool, a weapon. So they offer this unprecedented deal. Basically, they say, look, you keep fighting our mutual enemy, Chaos, and we'll stop trying to exterminate you. We'll even give you intel. It's an uneasy truce, born out of pure desperation.
But the Green God is nobody's pawn. He knows exactly what the Imperium is doing. They see him as a disposable weapon. So he plays along. He accepts their deal, but it's on his terms. He uses their intel and their resources to find worthy fights, all while building his own power, getting stronger, and preparing for the day he doesn't need their permission for anything.
And this all boils down to one final, fascinating question. You take the Hulk, a character who has spent his entire existence being hunted and feared as a monster. You drop him into the grimmest, darkest universe imaginable, a universe with no real heroes. And it's here, surrounded by beings who actually celebrate his rage, that he might finally get the chance to become the one thing he never ever thought he could be: a savior.